Hello fantasy gamers, Joe here, and it's time to finish off the rules to Shadows over Camelot. So in my last video I talked about the various quests around the board and how to complete them, and you're trying to complete them to get these white swords. There's the white swords there to go around the round table so that you can win the game. And I forgot to talk about two quests. When you're at Camelot, one of the quests you can do is fighting the siege engines outside Camelot, and to do that the knights have to play fight cards, and they play some fight cards down and they add the values together. That's 3 and 4, so 7, and then they roll an 8-sided dice, and if they roll less than their number of fight then they defeat the siege engine. So that's a 2, so they've got higher, so they defeat the siege engine. But if they rolled higher than their fight number or equal to their fight number, they would lose a life point and the siege engine would remain there. The other quest the knights can do, which I didn't mention, was after they finish the Lancelot's armor quest they can do the dragon quest, and to do that they can work as a team to play 3 different types of fight cards, 3 of each. So that would be, say, 3 2s, 3 4s and 3 5s, or any combination of numbers, but they have to have 3 of each number. Okay, so those are the quests I miss. Now I want to talk about some cards. So we've had some standard white cards like the fight cards, and then there's Grail cards to go on the Grail quest, but there's also special white cards, and special white cards have this symbol in the top left hand corner. And there are many of them. They do different things. This one gives you a choice of gaining 3 life points or allowing each other knight to gain a life point. So you can either be selfish or helpful to the other knights. And this one, there's 1 of each of these Merlin cards, and all the knights start with 1 Merlin card at the beginning of the game. And Merlin's a really powerful card. He can remove 1 siege engine, or, and this is the powerful bit, he can remove, he can remove the last standard black card played on a quest. So if you had some standard black cards like the Black Knights or the Dragons, or maybe the anti-Grail cards, I think that's quite a cool name. I'm going to keep calling them anti-Grail cards from now on. He can remove 1 of those, or as a group you can play 3 of these Merlin cards to cancel a special black card. So what are the special black cards? Well, here are some of them here, and they're the main baddies the game has to bring against you. There's lots of these Morgan cards or Morgana cards, and they do different things. This one says 1 knight loses 2 life points, or each knight discards 1 white card. So interesting choice to make there. This one says immediately add 2 siege engines. Then you've got Mordred, Desolation, that's one of the anti-Grail cards there, hence the Grail symbol. The Mists of Avalon, if anyone's read that book or seen that film, that's an amazing book. Not so good a film, but that's beside the point. And then the Dark Forest there. Okay, and there's other special black cards, and the special black cards have this red shield in the top right hand corner. And so Merlin's the only way really of preventing some of those special black cards from happening. And they can be real game enders if they come up during the progression of evil. Okay, so we've done the special white cards and the special black cards. So now I'm going to talk about some of the special rewards you can get. Oh, lots of specialities here. Okay, I'll use some other word in a second. But some of the things you can get in the quests. So usually a quest will earn you a life point, some cards and a white sword. And I forgot to mention actually, there is bad stuff if you lose the quest, like the black sword, losing a life point, and maybe adding siege engines. Okay, but sometimes some of the quests gain you an artifact, and there are 3 artifacts in the game. There's Excalibur, the Grail, and Lancelot's armor. So in this scenario of King Arthur, Lancelot has gone off somewhere and there is a quest, the quest for Lancelot, which is here, and the knight goes in search of Lancelot, and he basically, if he wins the quest, he brings back Lancelot's armour. And Lancelot's armour does this, so let's start with that. Lancelot's armour allows you to pick up 2 black cards at the start of your turn for your progression of evil, and it allows you to choose between the 2. So it could be that picking up the picks would be really bad if you're about to lose the picked war, and so you might want to go for moving Excalibur 1 step away instead. So it allows you to choose the least worst thing. Now, I said in my last video that one of the knights could be the traitor. So Lancelot's armour is quite powerful for the traitor, because he doesn't have to show the other knights what what the 2 choices are. He can just say, oh, they're both really bad, and then he'll go for the worst one without the other knights knowing that he's chosen the worst one. So Lancelot's armour, that's what that does. The Grail, I think I mentioned before, if a knight dies and the team owns the Grail, well, the knight that controls the Grail can choose to use it to bring that person back to life, even if that's himself. So I'm not sure quite how he's managing that. Maybe he drinks it with his dying breath. And then finally, you've got Excalibur. Excalibur adds 1 point to your strength when you're involved in a quest that involves a fight, so like the Siege Engine or the Black Knight or the Lancelot's Armour quest. And it can also be used, you can discard it to cancel one standard black card that is drawn. So its better use is probably for its plus strength, but as a last resort you can cancel a black card with it and then it's gone forever. Oh yeah, the Grail is a 1 use item as well, but Lancelot's armour you can keep on using. So those are the special items that you can use, and they're part of the rewards for winning quests. So obviously Excalibur you get on the Excalibur quest, the Grail on the Grail quest, and Lancelot's armour on the search for Lancelot. And now finally I'm going to talk about accusing knights and some of the tactics the traitor can use to secretly hinder the knights without giving himself away, and why you wouldn't want to give yourself away. So firstly, accusing knights. If a knight is kind of not pulling his weight, he's not really helping out the team, then he's very likely doing some sort of traitorous dealings and could be the traitor. Now you can only start accusing people of being the traitor if there are 6 swords round the round table. So you must have 6 before you can start accusing people of being the traitor. Or instead of 6 swords, there are 6 siege engines present. So once that 6 has been achieved, you then can start accusing people of being the traitor. Now if you accuse a knight of being the traitor as your action on your turn, they have to reveal their loyalty card, and if they are loyal, then you have misjudged them and they were true all along, and a white sword is flipped over to the black side. But if you manage to unmask the traitor, you gain a white sword, and that goes onto the round table. Okay, now why the traitor should want to remain hidden is so that at the end of the game, if the knights win but the traitor is unmasked, if the knights have won and the traitor isn't unmasked, he can reveal himself and turn over 2 white swords to the black sword side. And if there is a close call on the number of white swords to black swords, then that could turn the game for him. So how can the traitor remain hidden for so long? Well, that's to do with picking the quests you go on, really. If you're the traitor, one of the quests to go on which would be good would be Excalibur's quest, because you can discard any white card to move Excalibur 1 step closer to victory. So you could discard some really good cards So as I was saying, you could get rid of one of these really good special white cards just for moving Excalibur one extra step. And that's basically it for the traitor. You've got to do stuff which is still good in a way, but isn't as good as what you could do. Traitors often lie about the cards they have, and that's a good thing to do as the traitor, because no one can tell what you've got in your hand but you. So if people are asking for help on the Grail quest and you've got loads of Grail cards, you could say, oh, I've got one but I haven't got any others, and then they won't expect you to help out there, and they might expect you to go somewhere else. Doing these single knight quests, oh, I haven't mentioned that, this symbol means only one knight can do it, whereas this symbol means that you've got lots of space for lots of knights on the quest. But yeah, going to one of these single knight quests can often be a good move for the traitor, as it takes a lot of your time to fill up these spots, only doing one action a turn. And then you might not even win the quest. No one could really blame you if you didn't win. So yeah, so that's another tactic there. But sometimes if you do get unmasked before the game ends, then you have to turn your knight card over to the traitor side, and the game's not over for you. If you've been revealed, or you reveal yourself as the traitor, then you can get to do two things on your turn. You can choose one of the knights to discard a card from their hand, and you can choose an evil action like drawing a card or adding a siege engine. So yeah, so that's it really. That's all the rules to Shadows over the Camelot. My next video will be to advertise a Shadows over Camelot tournament over YouTube. And I'll have to modify the rules slightly for YouTube Play, so that will cover that. And then it will be a sign up. So here we go into Fantasy Gamer's first tournament, hopefully. Bye for now.